Morning, good morning, my peas. Hello, hello, hello from Teri and Magi. You can see how cool, calm, and collected she is back there on the couch. Hello and happy Saturday. The weekend's here. Let's see who we got in the house. Annie, Seven, and Grayson, good morning. Brandy, Cherry, good morning to you. Oh, there you are, Auntie Jean. I was hoping you would jump on here. And Jim. Hi, Jim. Are you out in Arizona? Sending you lots of love. Suzanne, I'm so glad you can be with us on the weekend. All right, so let's go into our hearts. Do some heart brain coherence to the sound of the beautiful chirping of the birds. Just let that sound go into your heart. Connect them with nature. Good morning, Jennifer. So breathe into your heart. And exhale that back out. Breathe in again. And let go. Now this time, with a smile on your face, pull somebody into your heart and pull them in here. Just give them a big, big, big hug and let them know you love them and you want to say good morning to them. So call out to all of those that you're not seeing. I know there's been a little bit of change on where we're streaming, but we can all get together on here. We can find it if you help. So whoever it is that you're not seeing yet, send them a little message or share the link and let's get them in here. We're missing our Andrea Gregg, Linda Lemieux, our Blue Jean, and Jim, you're back in Vermont. Yay. You did some traveling there, buddy. Leo, good morning, sweet one. Message Deirdre, thank you for doing that. All right. So how's everybody doing? It's the weekend. It's a joy. It is overcast and yucky, cloudy, rainy here on the outside. Sunshiny on the inside because I'm so happy that you all are here and that we can be together for this time. So what's going on? Thank you, Annie, calling in our Linda Lemieux, our Kathleen Caputo, Mama Hada Bear, and just call in anybody that you would like to see come in so you can say good morning to them and share some love and light with them. And cheers to all. Whatever you have in your cup, I hope it's delicious, and I hope you mix in this ingredient of joy with it, because that's what the Morning Cuppa Joy is all about, bringing joy into our hearts. Thank you, Annie. Where is our Kathy Hand this morning? I'm not sure where everybody's at, but please share the live so that we can have people finding it again. There's been, like I said, a little bit of confusion, a little bit of mix-up with where we need to be streaming it out. All right, so what's going on? Tomorrow morning is the silent meditation at 11 o'clock with me and Dr. Ruth Anderson. And then we have the afternoon cuppa on Sundays. So those of you that are used to coming in the morning will be on in the afternoon tomorrow. And I work with a deck of cards called the pony cards. I call them the pony cards. I don't know what their official name is. And we'll be giving some angel messages out tomorrow. Thank you, Annie, calling in our Sally and Tony de la Rosa. And there's Erica. Thank you. And Brandy says, thank you for the prayers for Serenity's mom. She made it through surgery and is in a medical coma for now. Well, praying that she gets better and better and better every day. I know that was a tough one, so I'm glad she made it through that surgery. And there's Deirdre. Oh, I'm so glad you're here with us, Deirdre. Please help us to share this out. All right, so we're going to get started. Oh, my goodness, Annie, we haven't seen Catherine in a while. Let's get her in here. Catherine DeSanti. And yeah, Catherine Kovacs usually needs a link so she can come in. All right. So this week on Wednesday, we have the Angel show where I introduce or just share about another angel. I don't think anybody needs to be really introduced to Archangel Gabriel. He is one of our main guys that surrounds us and helps us. So that's Wednesday's show on Enlightened World Network at, I believe it's 7. I have to look at my calendar. But it will be all about Archangel Gabriel. There is an event, and I've invited, I believe, all of you to that event page so you can have the information if you want to come on the Zoom call. The information's right there in the event page. Robert Dosa, oh my goodness, my friend, how are you? Good morning. And good morning, Kathy Hand. You found us. Catherine Kovacs, good morning to you. See what happens when we call people in? They just magically appear. I love that. So, okay, let's get to our messages. I still don't see Andrea Gregg, and I don't think she came in yesterday, did she? I think she might have missed the message yesterday. So today's message, or it happened like early in the morning, is the gateway, and this is from the angels. Michelangelo said, I am still learning. I am still learning. In life, every thread represents a moment, a lesson, or an experience. And there's one phrase that resonates with profound humility and endless potential. I am still learning. I know it seems strange that an artist like Michelangelo would acknowledge this sentiment out loud, yet it is in his humility in making the statement that he shows his greatness. When we think we have gone beyond the point of being teachable, we will miss out on so much spiritual growth. Embracing this mindset can be one of the most liberating and spiritually enriching experiences of our lives. When we give ourselves permission to be curious about everything, about life, about others, about ourselves, we not only acquire knowledge, but we also deepen our connection with the divine in all its manifestations. It's about finding the sacred in the mundane and recognize the teacher in every encounter. Dear angels, our journey isn't about reaching a destination, but about the transformation we undergo along the way. Each lesson learned, each insight gained changes us, bringing us closer to our true selves, closer to enlightenment. Dear ones, we invite you to understand that your journey through life is not one of reaching perfection, but of continuous evolution in wisdom, compassion, and love. Let this understanding guide you towards a life of deeper spiritual fulfillment. Remember, every day is a new chapter in the book of learning, and every moment holds the potential for enlightenment. There is immense strength in vulnerability, in admitting that you don't have all the answers. This vulnerability connects you with others, fostering empathy, compassion, and community. When you learn together, your spiritual journey becomes less about solitary enlightenment and more about collective growth. It's in this shared vulnerability that you often find the most profound spiritual experiences, recognizing your shared humanity and divinity. The angels whisper, do not fear vulnerability, for it is the gateway to your greatest growth. When you open your heart, you allow the light of truth to enter, illuminating the lessons your soul is here to embrace. Life is not meant to be navigated with walls around your spirit, but with the courage to be seen, to feel, and to trust in divine unfolding. In your openness, you will find strength. In your willingness to be taught, you will find wisdom. Surrender to the flow, knowing that every experience, joyful or challenging, is shaping you into the radiant being you are meant to be. Angels, today I promise to stay open to learning. When we think that we can't be taught, we can't. Whatever you think you can do. Whatever you tell yourself, I can't do that, then you've already given up. You've not even entertained the thought of possibility. So that's what this is all about. And I love that the quote is from someone who is one of the greatest artists of our time, Michelangelo. And when he says, I'm still learning, then boy, what does that say for us that are not household name. Those of us who are out here just being and being who we are magnificently and unapologetically. So, yeah, I'm still learning. There every day, I want to learn something. I made that commitment, oh my gosh, maybe 20 years ago, that I want to learn something new every day. I want to learn something that I didn't know before, or be reminded of something that maybe I was taught earlier on in life, but it didn't stick. It didn't take hold. And now I want to really fully understand more about this world I'm living in and the people that I'm surrounded by, which is you, my beautiful peas. I love you so much. Good morning, Charlie Coons. Oh, thank you, Brandy. Yeah, it hit home for me too when the angels always lead me to the quote that they want to work with. And when I was led to that particular quote, I just sat in awe for a minute and I'm going, yeah, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Not to just get so comfortable with what we think we know. We don't know everything. There's no way that we can know absolutely everything there is to know. And especially with today's technology, because we're learning more and more and more. So, yeah, I'm still learning. It's huge. So, how many of you are still learning? Anybody want to admit that you want to know more, that you're open to learning more, that you feel like you can be teachable? And if you feel like you can be teachable, that's half the battle. It's just acknowledging that, hey, I don't know everything. So let me know in the comments if you are still learning. Oh, thank you for yelling out to our Andrea Gregg. I don't know if it got her in here. I don't see any comments from her, but I love that. Brandy, you are such a hoot. And I don't see our Sally or Tony yet. And Kathy, whatever room you're in is the right one. And that's why I put all of the comments up here on the screen beside of me. If you look right beside of me, that's where everybody's making their comments, no matter where you are. You could be on YouTube, on Facebook. We're only streaming on 2 places on Facebook. And so we'll get used to the new one. Charlie says, listen, learn, and teach. We teach with our lives. We teach by our experiences and show others how important it is to just be, right? Just be. And yes, thank you, Auntie Jean, letting our Robert Dosa know we have missed you. It's been a few years, I think, since we've had you on the morning show. So thank you for being here this morning, Robert. And Brandy says, I'm a toddler here, learning from you every day. Oh, sweet one, we learn from each other. And Jim says, oh my God, that's easy to admit. Also relearning things much of the time. Yeah, that's what I was saying. We might have thought that we knew something. We might have thought we heard the message, but sometimes it needs to be given to us in a couple of different ways for us to really get it. Suzanne, I'm so glad you're with us on the weekends. And Suzanne says, I'm a big time learner. I love to learn. Me too. There was a point where I was reading like 5 books at one time. And yeah, that's possible. I multitask a lot. So, yeah, we always learn. We might not learn from books. Maybe you're not into reading. You might learn from a YouTube video or somebody saying something, or you come on here and you hear a phrase or a new term. And so you go down that rabbit hole and look it up and see what that's all about. Good morning, Nikki. Thank you for being here. And Auntie Jean says, you learn forever. That's why we are here. We do learn. I want to learn until I'm not even in this human body anymore. Then I know I'll still learn in spirit. Because let's talk about that. We think we have this limited amount of time to get it all in, to get it all right, to understand fully about life and love and all that good stuff. But really, we're just here for the experience. And the angels, I love the way they shared with me. They said, Terry, you're only here for a minute. In the grand scheme of eternity, you guys, we're only here for a minute. Just imagine if you look at your clock and a minute has gone by. That's what it's like to live a lifetime because it's that short an existence in the grand scheme of things. So in that minute, what are you going to do? What are you going to learn? What are you going to teach? What are you going to share? Think of it that way. I only have this minute, so what am I going to do? And I better make it good, right? But don't put any pressure on yourself. I'm just going to be, just going to be me. And whoever gravitates there, whoever comes toward this energy, you're supposed to be here. So you're here on purpose. You're divinely led to find each other and to be here with each other. Sally and Tony, there you are. Good morning. And Sally is constantly in learning mode. I love that about you, Sally. And I learned so much from you as well, and Tony. Leo says, I love to learn. I made a commitment to learn a new skill every year, and so far I was able to learn Reiki, astrology, sound healing, stock and Forex trading, singing, music production, play instruments, and I've been my own boss ever since. It's great to learn how to make a living for ourselves, becoming our own bosses. It's deliberating. I don't know if that's the word you meant to put. I don't know what that means. It's liberating for sure. And Kathy says, yes, I needed that message, especially at work. I really want to just coast 2 more years and retire from the lab, but I really want to learn things that will bring in some income for Bob and I and cost of living. I plan to look into writing, creating an Etsy page for my creations, and my latest dream is to become a sommelier. Sommelier. I'm going to have to look that one up. I bought 2 books to help me study wine. Oh, awesome. You should go to California and visit our Rosalind Good Vibes. She'll take you to all the wine places out there because she lives in the valley where, oh my gosh, there's wineries everywhere. Robert said, it's been a long time and a hard time since I haven't been here. I'm at a phase where I'm learning to unlearn things. Important point, Robert, and thank you for bringing that up, and thank you for joining us. Yeah, sometimes we hold on to beliefs and concepts, and we hear things that kind of stick, but we're not sure about. So sometimes we have to say, okay, let me really look at that and see if that still holds true for me. Oh, Brandy, you got your books already. Oh, yay! Yes, there are 3 tiny books, and Brandy just got all 3 of them in the mail. I love it. Yes, I love these tiny books, and they are teaching tools for us as well. They do teach us a lot because they're angel messages in little bitty form. Let's see. Liberating. I thought that's what you meant to say, Leo. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, Robert, well, you're in the right place. You're surrounded by love here. We are your family. There's our blue. And thank you, Suzanne, for sharing links so that people can easily get in here. I still don't see Andrea Gregg, but we'll have to send a life jacket out for her, I think. All right, let's see what Kuan Yin has to tell us. Change is in the air. Sometimes we take things for granted and forget to stop and realize how incredible the ordinary things can be. Growth does often seem improbable, yet it happens every day in many ways. So too is something growing in your life that seems at the moment unlikely or impossible. Yet it will happen anyway. Have faith, trust your feelings, and relax. Change is in the air. I love this message. Change is in the air. In case you haven't noticed, this year there's a lot of changes and a lot of things that a lot of people are confused about. but just know that there is a divine hand and there's a divine plan. So if you're facing something that's confusing for you, that you're unsure about how to handle it or what to do with it, just ask. Just ask the angels. Maybe pick up one of these books and say, all right, I need some guidance. I need some help here. So this was the first one, the Tiny Book of Angel Messages. And then we went to the Angels in My Pocket, and Hi Little Pocket, our little mascot for this book. And then we have the newest, 333 Angelic Whispers, Divine Wisdom. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? Tuning into that wisdom that we can just gain so much insight from. All right, so let's do some pages out of the tiny books. So give me a page number. We'll do a few of them. And let's just see what comes out for us. If you have a question, if there's something you need some insight on, this is what I always do before I open up one of the books or any book that I'm working with. I just go into my heart and I say, okay, what do I need to know? Or what do I need to know about a situation that's confusing or that I need clarity on? A situation that you're just going to guide me to the right direction or the right answer. So I do that, and then I open the book, and all of a sudden, there's the answer, or at least a guide to turn me toward the answer. That's a big thing. You know, speaking of clarity, Archangel Gabriel is the angel of messages, but he's also the messenger angel that brings clarity to us. So I envision Gabriel with a spray bottle of glass cleaner and spraying it onto us and then wiping. And wow, all of a sudden we can see. You know that song, I Can See Clearly Now? I can't sing, but that's the song. I can see clearly now. And that's what Gabriel does for us. So I hope you can tune in on Wednesday night, Wednesday evening, early evening, and we're going to talk about Gabriel. Suzanne's asking for page 25. So let's go to page 25 in this brand new little book. Challenge yourself to step out of your comfort zone each day. Choose one thing that you have told yourself that you cannot do. Perhaps you feel you need someone there to hold your hand through it, and that's okay. The babies need encouragement to take their first steps and get over the fear of falling. You know, human babies don't start out of the womb running, right? They have to learn how to crawl. They have to learn how to stand up. They have to learn that, you know, there's this thing called gravity. And when they do stand up, they might fall on their butts. We learn. It's a learning experience. And then eventually they can walk, they can run. So it's the same way for us. If we're learning something new, sometimes we just need that guidance. And that's what these books are. They're just guidance, you guys. They're just inspiration that the angels have given that give us hope and give us the means to open up to possibility and potential. So thank you for that, Suzanne. And Kathy says, Robert is here as part of divine plan. There's a reason for everything. There absolutely is. All right. We're going to page 48. Thank you, Sally. Page 48. We do understand that it is not an easy thing to be so limited in the human body. That's why we take our job so seriously. We want you to experience life with ease and grace. All of that does not change the outcome, though, dear ones, as you can choose for yourselves in every situation. If you want cookies for breakfast, then most likely that will happen. We choose, we make decisions and choices every minute of every day. And yes, the angels can guide us. Yes, they can say, that might not be such a good idea. Why don't you look over here at this possibility instead? They do that, but they can't force us to look at, hey, maybe eating something like fruit would be better than cookies, but they just acknowledge that they can guide, but they can't force us. And then we make the decision and we live with the consequences of our choices. That's plain and simple. So thank you, Sally, for choosing that page. Catherine, there's not a page 333, honey. The angel messages in this book go up to page 127. That's the last page with messages on it. Brandy says, may I have page 11 for Auntie Jean, whichever book feels right. Page 11. Let's just see if this one feels right. And that's the other thing. It's not always just one source that you go to get the message. So here we have options, book 1, 2, or 3. I'm going to choose book 1, page 11 for you, Brandy. And I know you just got this little beauty in your hands. This one's very powerful. So page 11 says, love is what you desire because your soul resonates with that energy. It is your true state of being. It is the familiar way for all of you. It is remembrance of being in your pure spiritual form. Yes, it is healing because of its very nature, a return to purity and innocence. Your heart responds to that. What a beautiful message. When we decide to come here and incarnate into a human body, we know what we're doing when we make that choice. But once we get into this body, we're constantly searching for that pure, unconditional love. Okay, I'm going to turn the storm off. Sorry. Let's get the birdies singing to us again. So anyway, we're constantly searching for that love energy because that's what our soul knows. That's what it knows that it's made of. And so that's what we look for. I love that. Thank you. Thank you, Brandy, for choosing that for our Auntie Jean. Auntie Green Jean. And Kathy says page 8 for Colin's birthday today, or maybe page 29, or both. He will be coming here today and spending the weekend with us. Oh, how awesome. Well, let's go to page 8 and see what message is there for us. By living with purpose and authenticity, you can make a meaningful difference in the world and leave a positive legacy for future generations. Listen to your spirit guides. We will assist you in becoming a conduit for change in your world through living your authentic purpose. I think that one's perfect for our Colin, don't you, Kathy? Live with purpose and authenticity. So important for us to share our messages out with others. So please tell Colin happy birthday. And once Leo sends me the birthday music, we get to play that song whenever someone has a birthday. I'm going to go to the second book for page 29. So that was page 8. Kathy, if you want to share that with Colin. And page 29. Feels like we need to go there. Your heart is the seat of your soul, and thus everything you are emerges from the heart space. It emerges from the stillness within, moving ever so gently to connect with the mind where it transcends limitations, and the soul finds its voice. Those two messages do go together and beautifully together. Using your voice, and if you're coming from your heart, what you're saying with your physical voice is going to match what your soul is crying out for you to understand more about. Awesome. All right. Yeah, Robert, I understand that need to know because I have that as well, the need to know everything. And the angels have shared to me that we won't know everything. We won't know all the answers while we're in this human body. It's impossible to know everything about everything. And sometimes we won't see the bigger picture until we're no longer in this human body or we have an enlightened experience, kind of like the Buddha going and sitting under the tree until he got the messages to figure it out. So, yeah, we don't always have to know the why. And actually, the angels have told me, and take it if you want it, they've told me to stop asking why because why puts us in a victimhood mentality. With why, we think that something happened to us and we want to know um, either what we did or what that person's motive was or what the energy was surrounding it. If we say it in a different way, if we say, what am I supposed to do with this? That's a whole different experience than asking why it happened, right? So, what am I supposed to do with this, God? Or whoever, whatever spirit guide you're talking to, whatever you listen to for your spiritual guidance, just ask that question. What am I supposed to do with this? Oh, thank you, Kathy. I love that. And in the back of all of these books, I don't know, was it that way in the first book? I don't remember that I did that. No. So in the last two books, the blue book and the number book, there are pages for you to write on. So on these pages, you can jot down a page number. You can jot down some insight that you had. If there's a message you want to go back to and refer to over and again, you can do that in the back of the book. Okay, so where are we now? Let me just see if there's any other request to read. And book 2, message 1 from Auntie Jean. Okay, the very first message in Angels in My Pocket. I so love this book. I know I'm really in love with the new one, but this one has a special energy to it. So, message 1. Peace is not just about feeling happy, serene, and joyful. It is about loving your fellow beings enough to ask the important questions, to see where injustices are happening, and ask if you have a passion to take inspired action. Not everybody goes out on the battlefield. Not all of us are called to go out on a mission and travel the earth and talk to people. Some of us are the wind beneath our wings, right? Like you all, every time that I go to a new place, every time that I take a journey in that angel mobile, I have every one of you with me. You're all supporting, you're all lifting, and I so appreciate that. So that's a very important message. Thank you, Auntie Jean. Oh, thank you, Suzanne. Yes, these were some really perfect messages today, weren't they? Charlie wants page 14. We'll make that the last, well, then we've got Catherine with the last page of the book. So let's do those two messages, and then we'll go into our prayers. Oh, I got you, Jean. The last message on page 127. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. So Charlie, page 14 says, you can build a more peaceful world. It will happen one heart connection at a time. Will you be part of that? I love that. That's a call to action. That's a call to say, will you step up? Will you be that light in the dark when somebody needs to find out how to be more peaceful, how to get along better with others? Will you do it by example? Will you live your life in such a way that people look and say, oh, can I be like that? Can I be that peaceful warrior in the world? So thank you, Charlie. And Blue says, that's right, Teri. I was on the road for 20 years. We do need our supporters when we're on the road. And, the Peace on Earth tour, it lives on donation. And so I have a new way that you can support, and it's called Give Butter. So it's the website is givebutter.com. But I'll put a link where in fact, if you're on the live right now, which you are, in the description, there's a link at the very end where you can go. Even if you give $5, every little bit helps. And when you give, you're giving to a nonprofit because all of those funds go right into our nonprofit bank account. And you're helping the Peace on Earth tour. You're helping angel speakers to keep doing what we're doing, shining our light out into the world. Hi, Brookie. Thank you for coming in. All right. So the very last message in this tiny little book, 333 angel messages. Dear ones, as you draw closer to us, we are able to assist you in your self-awareness of the divine spirit within you. We are not saviors or gods, and were created just as you were with a divine purpose. We serve the Creator by ministering to you. The messages we bring forth are for you to learn from and are only for your best and highest good. All of you have the ability to hear our guidance, and we encourage you to open up to attuning this gift because for any guidance system to work, you must tune into it, right? Our GPSs are great. They'll get us where we need to be, but guess what? We have to turn them on, right? We have to turn it on for it to give us guidance. So it's the same thing. Just envision there's a switch inside of you that you can switch on that divine guidance from your angels, your loved ones, the ascended masters, from God himself or herself, however you envision God. Just envision that you can flip that switch and all of a sudden there's your turn right, turn left, make a U-turn. There's all the guidance that we need when we tune into it. There's a saying in some of I think all of the 12-step programs that help people that are in addiction. It works if you work it. It works if you work it. And what that means is it's there for you. It's available for you. But if you don't do it, you don't participate in it, it's not going to help you. It might filter in a little bit of information and a little bit of feelings, but to fully get into the guidance, you have to do something. So thank you. Thank you, Catherine, for being persistent and getting us that message. That is the very last message in the newest little book. Okay. And Catherine's having some very serious issues with sound. The birds sound like squeaking wheels, and I've been sick for quite a while now. Oh, I'm so sorry. Let's see if I can turn them down some. Maybe that'll help. There we go. Put them a little bit softer while we do the prayers. And there's our Andrea Gregg. Yay, yay, yay. And Deirdre just gave us our prayer, our daily prayer that we do. So if you have any prayer requests, anyone you want to lift up, just put that in the messages. And our prayer is for all humans, for Gaia and all who live on her back, world peace, attention to human trafficking, support for all families living with addiction, and prayers for our United States. Thank you. Thank you for that. And Suzanne says, maybe sometimes we make it too difficult. We are here to love and have empathy. I see it every day at work. A smile. Empathy and compassion is very powerful, extremely powerful, Suzanne. And you're in a position that you can make such a difference in people's life by the way you treat them, by that smile and that compassion and that empathy. So thank you. All right. Let's keep going with the prayers. What can I learn from this? Good one, Suzanne. Whenever we have an experience that is confusing to us or We don't know what it's all about. What can I learn from this? What do I need to know about it that I can really get fully enlightened from the message of that lesson? Prayers for the lost, the lonely, the forgotten, the unloved, the homeless, and for those who live in fear of another, plus some prayers for Robert to make his way through this time with grace, love, and light. Thank you for that, Sally. So beautiful. And Robert, I hope you're feeling all that love from everyone this morning. Kathy Hand, that was book number 2 that I read that from. And Brookie says, Dylan and I were talking about the behavior of photons, the smallest detected particles creating our existence, and how they cannot be truly understood because they are always changing. They do their thing until we look at them, and then they behave differently. Depending on intentions, they do different things. That's so true. And scientists have found that if you break anything down to its very basic core, we're all the same. And that's how we can understand more about the oneness. Okay, and Brandy, prayers for all touched by or experiencing dementia of any type. Yes, I know it has, darling, and it has been close to my heart as well, and touched many of my loved ones. And Brookie says, so it's so hard to be able to define any one truth because what is true for one person is not necessarily true for another, and vice versa. Perhaps everything is true in the realm of possibility. Hence, how we manifest and thoughts become things a little more scientifically. That's so very true, Brookie. Very true. That's why we're constantly encouraged to look at our belief system, look at how we feel, and all of the things that happen when we learn something new. Oh, Sally, you're so welcome. All right, so we're going to go into prayers because we're running late this morning. It is the weekend, so let's give ourselves a little bit of leeway this morning. All right, and Marietta, thank you. Many prayers, many blessings, many hugs. I love that. All right, so let's go into our hearts. There's a lot of messages here. If I keep reading, we'll be here until 10 o'clock this morning. But let's go into our hearts. What is time anyway, right? We just needed this time together this morning. A little magi back there adding some animal energy to it. So go into your heart. Just take a moment to breathe in. Think of all of these words that have been spoken today, the angel messages, the angel stories, the love that they have for us. Think of the love you have for each other. And let's just hold that light up high. Just envision that you have a lantern in your hand. All right, settle. You have a lantern in your hand, and you can hold that lantern up high so that others can see it. Just be the light right now. Be the light in the darkness. And hold on to that light. And as you shine that light out, let the fuel for your lantern be the love in your heart. Find the energy that's inside of you that says, thank you, I love you. We're all searching for that unconditional love. So breathe into your heart. Hold a person or a place, an animal, a prayer that's been asked for. Just hold it in your heart as you hold the lantern up. And we're going to bring our vibration up, 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 just like Magi's energy, bringing it up higher, letting it be elevated and fueled by our desire to get these messages to the Creator. And as we hold our lantern up, we're seen as bright stars, bringing the prayers forward and leaving them right there with the Creator at the great central sun. each one of us seen and acknowledged and loved, all prayers answered for the best and highest good of all. And then bring your lantern back here and let's love on each other for a minute. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, little Magi. I guess she thought I was done with the show because every time I play Leo and we say our goodbyes, she knows that it's then playtime. So that's what's going on with her this morning. She felt the energy. So here's our Leo, and the words are, thank you. I love you.
Earthlings, it's time to get up and get ready because today's the perfect day to have a
Time to
great
dance.
day.
Magi, time to dance.
Come on, let's play. It's a beautiful day. If you woke up this morning, might as well be part of it. One on the peace for peace, on our mission for harmony. You and me, mama, be on the lead wherever we may be. We create a portal where we can be together. The heart telephone is always one phone call away. Calling on the guys, the angels, and the masters. Take a deep breath, we're going into a new dimension. Morning cup of full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup of full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup of full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA.
AAA,
Morning
and
cup of
remember
full
the
of joy
AAA
with all the peas
dance.
and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cup full of joy. Give me a cup full of. Give me a cup full of joy. Give me a cup
There's the hyper girl.
full
Say
of
hi.
joy, full of
Hi,
light, full
everybody.
of love.
Hi,
Always
everybody.
refuse
We're
to
doing the
leave from
dance.
the top.
We're doing the
Hey, the
dance.
coffee's always
We're doing
hot
the
and the
AAA
juice is
dance.
always yours. The sun is calling out to play. Let's put on a show. Today's a new day. We are part of this game. Let's play to win. Love always is the winning team, and you can side with us. There is always more space in the pot for more love. Take a spot to get the day started. Morning cup of full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe.
Yes,
We call
Robert,
the
I hope you saw
AAA.
these
Morning cup of full of
messages of
joy with
love
all the
from
peas and the
you.
pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Morning cup of full of joy every day. To start the day on a high vibe, we call the AAA. Morning cup of full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love you, namaste. Give me a cup of
Love,
full of
love,
joy.
joy.
Give me a cup of full of joy. Give me a cup of full of. Give me a cup of full of joy. Give me a cup of full of. Give me a cup of full of joy.
Oh, Auntie Jean, you're always in our prayers.
There really is no secret. We simply accept,
Yep.
align,
Align.
allow.
Allow.
Triple
Yep.
A, morning cup of
Align.
full of joy
Allow.
every day. Just start the day on the high five, we call the AAA. Morning cup of full of joy with all
I
the peace
know,
and the pod. The
Jean.
daily mantra is thank you, I love you,
Telling me
namaste.
something.
Morning cup of full of joy every day. Just start the day on the high five, we call the AAA. Morning cup of full of joy with all the peas and the pod. The daily mantra is thank you, I love
I
you,
love you,
namaste.
namaste, y'all. That's good. That's good. Okay, baby, just 1 minute. 1 more minute. I promise. I promise. Go get your ball. Go get your ball. Go find your ball. Come on, go find your ball. Find your ball. Here we go. Woo! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo, with love, absolutely. All right, I will see you all back here tomorrow afternoon for an afternoon cup of joy at 2 o'clock. I know little Magi is going to be so confused because she's used to us being on in the mornings. But now I'm going to take her out with the BALL and we're going to have some fun. So take care, everyone. I love you so much. Bye.